to welcome you all to the Center of Light Spring Equinox, March 19, 2020.
Speech off.
I call forth and I dedicate this flame to the will aspect, to spirit. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to the mother aspect, the body. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to the son aspect of love. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to the center of light, Huntsville, and the center of light, Australia. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to the diamond platinum ray, and that it anchor in each individual who is participating in this ceremony. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to Archangel Raphael, who has power and authority over the spring season. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to healing, individually and planetary. I call forth and I dedicate this flame to our friends and family everywhere. I will read the preamble to the decrees, and you can follow along on the video if you like, and also say this decree with me. May all that is involved in human speech be cleansed, our tongues and throats be washed with light and blessed, our minds and hearts clear channels for the God's expression, and that which we decree shall manifest. May consciousness hold strong in full awareness, all inner turbulence be laid to rest, all personal desire be bowed in joyful service, and that which we decree shall manifest. May each accept his source within the heart of God, and know that all who live are God expressed, and know the power of the real shall have dominion, and that which we decree shall manifest. In love, in power, and in wisdom balanced, may all the work be done with truth its test, outpicturing the Master's plan through this clear channel, and that which we decree shall manifest. This next decree is a call to archangels, and it is about calling the archangel Raphael to be before us now during this season. And it'll be repeated 3 times. Raphael before me, Michael behind me, Uriel to my right, Gabriel to my left, in a circle of power, in a sphere of protection, thus I stand. Raphael before me, Michael behind me, Uriel to my right, Gabriel to my left, in a circle of light, in a sphere of protection, thus I stand. Raphael before me, Michael behind me, Uriel to my right, Gabriel to my left, in a circle of love, in a sphere of protection, thus I stand. Today, we are at the point in the yearly cycle when balance exists between light and dark. The day of the spring, or vernal equinox, has equal times of daylight and darkness. As the sun moves from Pisces into Aries, it crosses the Earth's celestial equator, and momentary balance of day and night is achieved. Thereafter, the hours of light will predominate, and the hours of dark will fade into the background. The equinox, then, is a time for us to examine our balance. Does a balance exist between our poles of yin and yang? Or are we prisoners of images of how we should behave? As we move toward our outer nature, the light, do we honor our inner nature, the dark? It was Carl Jung that reminded us that without the darkness, we could not see the light of the candle flame. In modern occult manner of speaking, he is said to be the ambassador to Earth from Mercury. Hermes, or Mercury, was the god of healing to the Greco-Romans, and it was Mercury's symbol, the caduceus, which the priesthood and the Asclepius chose for the symbol of their work, both physical and spiritual. As we know, the caduceus, or staff of Mercury, is a staff entwined by two serpents, one white, the other black. To the ancients, this was the symbol of initiation, representing the two paths of involution and evolution, with the straight and narrow way of initiation rising between them. The black and white serpents also represent consciousness during sleeping and waking hours, respectively. When Christianity came, Raphael changed the staff of Mercury for the Grail cup, and the serpents were replaced by the dove, another most sacred symbol of Christian initiation. In the Hebrew legend, Raphael relates to healing. The time of Easter dramatizes the secrets of life in the temples of the New Age. These secrets will be uncovered again, and the Easter message of the continuity of life will be demonstrated in Mass, in worldwide resurrection and ascension, and a new race instructed by Raphael. This will come to understand fully of Christ's promise that man shall never die. This doesn't mean that man will live forever in the same physical body. It does mean that when the outer sheath is laid aside, the spirit will pass from this plane to the next in uninterrupted consciousness. And again, it will pass from the plane back to this one in rebirth, also in uninterrupted consciousness. Eventually, when the race bodies become so pure and ethereal, having the seed of immortality in themselves, the labor of Raphael will have been accomplished, and mankind will ascend into the new mysteries. For 3 days, there is absolute balance between the hours of dark and light. And remember that Christ lay in the tomb for 3 days too. No coincidence. It is a mystery story representing the descent of spirit into matter. At the spring equinox, there is a physical alignment of the sun and the moon, but there is also a cosmic alignment. This is the time that a great sun being named Sonnet Camara descends to become the indwelling planetary spirit who makes initiation possible to everyone through the new mysteries which he founded. There are subtle vibrations which are released at the time of the spring equinox. Those can be experienced by those initiates who have found and know how to use the lost word. All ancient names are studied by the Kabbalists for their esoteric numerical value. The letters of the alphabet are also given values in other terms. Those sacred words spell Aleph, Vau, Mem, or A-U-M. And this means A equals man plus power. U means creation plus passage. And the M equals woman plus mother. This word is a mystic triad by which creative energy is invoked, but in a spiritual sense. And I'd like for you to join with us as we issue 3 ohms together. special ceremony. We will be inducting one of our seminarians into the priesthood. This is her ordination time, and her name is Jane Wadke. Jane, will you please come to the front? Thank you. Well, it is my extreme pleasure tonight to officiate 3 ceremonies. Jane has worked long and hard for 3 years, working on her seminary program, and we have felt that it is time for her to be ordained. So it has been ordained that you will be ordained.
Yeah, I got that message.
Yeah, I think she finally got that message. So if y'all would come up and take your places. Miss Jane Abbott Wadke. Ordination is the sacrament by which priests of the Center of Light receive power and authority to perform their priestly duties after completing their seminary work and studies in the field of theosophy. The priesthood exists for the benefit of the world. They are intended to act as channels for the distribution of divine energy. Ray 3. As a priest, you are put in touch with the reservoir of Holy Spirit energy. This is inherent in the sacrament, the line through which you use the power to administer sacraments and channel energy. Your holiness, or lack of it, will not affect this ability. Just be there. Ray 2. Another energy you are put in touch with is the energy from the cosmic Christ. It is with this energy that you develop yourself personally. You will have to do this consciously, for you are responsible for your own spiritual growth. The cosmic Christ draws his priests into a close personal union, thereby creating a definite link through which the divine force will flow. This is the channel of the second ray of divine love. Now for ray 1. First ray, the aspect of divine will, is not inherent in the sacrament, but your service prepares you to evoke that yourself. Most priests are on the initiatory path, and make no mistake about it, the initiatory path is a first ray activity. The opening of this channel is a great departure from ordinary life. Sensitivity and loving expression can and will be developed by you, but it can be greatly increased after ordination with deep commitment and earnest service. This requires a determined effort to bring your human nature into harmony with your divine nature, to live the life of a whole being. Be very aware of the responsibility and the dignity of the priesthood. Now, do you, Jane Abbott Wadke, strive to use the power worthily?
I did.
Do you promise to exercise your priestly duties lovingly and judiciously?
I do.
Do you dedicate your life to the path of initiation?
I do.
Expressing the divine love principle in service to others? With this holy oil, I anoint and open your centers, the head center, for activation of the triangles in the head for serving wisely. the heart center, for the activation of divine love, for the service to humanity. In your hands. Are activated for you to bless and to heal others. These are the symbols of your service, and I ordain you. It's like baptism too. I ordain you, Jane Wadke, into the order of Melchizedek, the holy order of the Christos, and into the channel of the center of light for applied metaphysics. In the name of the Father, and the Mother, and the Son, you are so ordained. I give you this light for you to carry as a symbol of your light inside of you, and that you shed that light in the darkness. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
I'm just very humbly touched that you deem me eligible for this honor.
Thank you. And with that, you're going to have to hold your candle in one hand. These are your first vestments of your priesthood. Wear them with honor and love. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to give you a hug. This is the certificate of ordination, which says, it has been determined that the spiritual and educational requirements for the priesthood have been met, and I hereby solemnly and publicly set apart and ordain Jane Abbott Wadke to serve God as a channel for the cosmic Christ energy and an expression in the order of Melchizedek, holy order of the Christos, and the channel of the center of light for applied knowledge, applied metaphysics.
I read it. I saw what it said.
So that is for you to
All
do.
right. Thank you.
Hang on your wall or wherever you want
Yeah,
to put it.
I will do.
Okay, thank you.
Where do I connect sit down?
Yeah. Cheryl, would you come and stand before us, please? Why don't you stand that way so she can come this way? Okay, that's good. Cheryl has agreed to a baptism ritual here at the Center of Light. So this is the first ceremony that we're going to do for her tonight. You're special because you get two. Thank you. The Center of Light for Applied Metaphysics is a center for the expression of the Christ principle of love and wisdom within the channel of the Christ energy. The Center of Light is dedicated to the unity of humanity in love and wisdom, the active preparation for the manifestation of the love-wisdom principle in humanity, living in the conscious expression of the love-wisdom principle, which is unity, love, and understanding. Cheryl L. Rook, do you now stand before Spirit and acknowledge the Christ principle in yourself and others?
I do.
Do you also stand as a channel for the Christ principle of love and wisdom?
I do.
Have you heard and do you hear God's wisdom as expressed through the Christ energy in all sources of wisdom and truth?
I do.
Do you believe in the wisdom so expressed?
I do.
Do you forgive yourself and others for all expressions less than the Christ principle?
I do.
That's a big one.
It is.
In the name of the Father, the divine principles of will, love, wisdom, and active intelligence, I anoint your primary centers for the unfolding and opening of the expression of the Christ energy. Arshna. Throat. In your heart. Cheryl, in the name of the divine principles of the Father, Mother, and Son, I baptize you, Charlene Rook, into the channel of the Christ through the center of light. In the name of the Father, the divine principles of the Father, Mother, and Son, I ignite this flame as a symbol of indwelling spirit, which in time will light the way to your own individual Christ consciousness.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank
Would
you.
you like to say anything?
I just want to thank everyone for this opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity and it's humbling and it's indeed a blessing. And I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is for you, for the baptism, and also her certificate. It says, let it be known to all that Cheryl L. Rook was publicly baptized in the name of the divine principles of will, love, and wisdom, and active intelligence at the Center of Light for Applied Metaphysics, a mystery school, Huntsville, Alabama.
There you go. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Beautiful.
Now, keep that candle, at your home and use it for your meditations or however you feel fit to use that candle.
Will do.
And you can go ahead and extinguish that because you'll be getting another one. Cheryl has come back to the center. She's been gone for quite a few years, but she's been a member since 2008. She has studied Alice Bailey. She says she likes Alice Bailey. And she's done all classes in the past. And she has been, could you say, pushed?
Yeah.
Kind of pushed, prodded and pushed to
Yes.
come back and enter the priesthood, the seminary program for priesthood. So we are welcoming her back into the center, and her studies will begin now that Mercury is no longer retrograde. They will begin April 1st. We may have to do a lot of stuff online for now, but
That's fine.
yeah. So
That will be good.
right. So this is her induction ceremony.
Thank you.
Okay. Cheryl. Ordination is the sacrament by which priests and priests of the church receive power and authority to perform their priestly duties after completing their seminary work and studies in the field of metaphysics and theosophy. The goal of the Center of Light Priesthood Seminary Training Program is to prepare those who are committed and have a strong desire to support and channel the energy of the Christ through the Order of Melchizedek, the Holy Order of the Christos, and the channel of the Center of Light. This Christ energy will be manifested and demonstrated through your chosen field of service. Ray 5. As you work through your years of training, Ray 5 will be of great assistance to you, as it is the ray of the logical mind or brain, and its mode of activity is logical thought. It is a key to the universal mind, or pure thought, assisting you in developing your intuition. Ray 2. As a seminarian, you are put in touch with the energy from the cosmic Christ. It is with this energy that you develop yourself personally and in turn relate lovingly to others. You will have to do this consciously, for you are responsible for your own spiritual growth. The cosmic Christ calls and draws servants into the close personal union, thereby creating a definite link through which the divine force will flow. This is the channel for the second ray of divine love. Do you, Cheryl Rook, commit to the seminary program and agree to follow its curriculum to the best of your ability?
I do.
Do you dedicate your life to the path of discipleship and initiation, expressing the divine love principle in preparing to serve others?
I do.
I anoint your ajna again for the activation of divine vision, that you are guided with clarity and soul realization in the field of metaphysics and theosophy. I anoint your throat chakra for the activation of divine creativity of our truth and expression. With this light, I hand to you as a light to begin your seminary program, and your path is lit before you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cheryl Rook, our new seminary. If y'all would come up and just kind of gather around and welcome her, that would be great. We can't stay 6 feet apart here, so what you can.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
That's right, a lot of people are
Namaste.
Namaste.
Do high five.
Yes.
No, we're just
A little Chinese.
We got some work to do, girl.
That's true, that's true, looking forward.
Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
I'd like for us to, while we're standing here, to issue the affirmation of the disciple. And if somebody would start it out for me, I'd appreciate it.
I am a point of
Light
light.
within a greater light. I am a strand of loving energy within the stream of love divine. I am a point of sacrificial fire, focused within the fiery will of God, and thus I stand. I am a way by which men may achieve. I am a source of strength enabling them to stand. I am a beam of light shining upon their way, and thus I stand. And standing thus revolve, and tread this way the ways of men, and know the ways of God, and thus I stand. So be it.
So it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, thank you.
And there's your second candle. Okay.
Very nice.
And I will go ahead and extinguish the candles.
And I have a gift for you.
Back of the cards will
Jane, I'm
Jane?
gonna have to let it dry, but it has been here through the ceremony, and all of us priests carry a crystal.
Oh,
So this is yours. I'm going to let it dry. So I just bathe it in gel. Okay, so you just pick it up when you're ready.
okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Oh,
In the future, we'll hug.
yes, I feel the love anyway.
There you go.
I think Delcy brought, did you bring something tonight to share?
Yeah, I made her thingy.
No, I'm talking about in the kitchen. Did you bring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nuts.
Yeah, she brought some individual packaged nuts. If you like, we can spray the bags down with Lysol if you want.
We don't want to drink it.
Yeah. Well, the package itself, not the nuts.
They're all individually
Yeah, they're
packages,
individual
nuts and
packages.
raisins and seeds in it, you know, that kind of thing. So if you want something, just in there for you.
Let me take it to go.
No, it's in a package like so.
So, thank you for being here. I know it's a short and sweet ceremony, but it was very auspicious and very important for all of us to be here. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Pamela, for attending, and Mary.
Thank you
We're not taking
I'd like to close our celebration stating the great invocation. This is a decree that is very special, and it stands side by side with the Lord's Prayer as a prayer for the new age. Together. From the point of light within the mind of God, Let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. I hope that everybody has enjoyed this equinox this year, enjoyed this video, and take this energy and pass it on to everybody that you meet. Nancy? What a wondrous time is spring, when all the trees are budding, the birds begin to sing, the flowers start their blooming. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you want to sing. It's fresh like spring. You want to pass it on. With love and gratitude in our hearts, I return these flames to their source. May they remain lit in your hearts and minds until we meet again. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. Be sure to shed light into the darkness and spread love to everyone and our most beautiful, sacred planet. Be a flower and bloom this spring. Thank you.